Hi there, supplicants. Welcome back to the Reverend Bob talk show. Now, before the break, I asked you which one of three streetwise warriors owned this magnificent RS Turbo. The answer was, of course, you all got it. It was Sean, whose real name is Finney from St Helens. How long you owned the car?
About 6 months now.
What have you spent on it?
About 20 grand.
How much on the sound system?
8 grand.
Deafening 8 grand. What about the engine? It's always bursting.
Yeah, 6 grand. A bit.
Well, fire it up. Let's hear the beast go. So, adios. Safe driving. The first instalment of Match the Hatch. Join us next week for another thrilling instalment. Meanwhile, back at the Reverend Bobby's on the rolling road.
Well, did you guess the right owner, punters? Of course you did. No flies on you. Well, here we are back at the Rolling Road Centre where earlier we saw Wazzy's mint Subaru pull 323 brake horsepower. But the big question is, can Neil's Evo 5 top it? Are you confident?
We're hopeful.
You're hopeful?
Yeah.
What do you lot reckon? Yeah. Barry, you ready? Let's do it. Fire it up, mates. There, Neil, don't run off. Come on, we're looking for 320 plus. Come on, Barry, let's give him some stick. Come on. That's it. Well, I tell you what, you could cut the atmosphere in here with a slice of gravy from that canteen. It sounded absolutely fantastic, but did it do the business? We were hoping to beat 323. The lovely Annika put us out of our misery.
321.
321, not bad, what do you reckon? Oh, they're not sure. Waz, come here, mate. Only 2 brake horsepower in it. Look at that.
Mate.
Lovely to the end.
Fantastic.
You won, mate. 2 horsepower in it.
Cheers.
Very good run. It's only the first show, but it doesn't stop us checking out the leaderboard. Well, this year, folks, the Tower of Power split for 2 litre above and below 2 litre. So Waz and Neil, a couple of nice places on there already. And what are they playing for? There's top prizes at stake. There's a chance to win a set of beautiful BBS alloys, H&R suspension kit, a Pioneer head unit, even a pair of Recaro seats. But the biggest prize of all, the fabulous Trophy of Cheese. Well, I tell you what a totally fabulous first rolling road shootout for the series, and with just 2 brake horsepower in it, you can't say fairer than that. But there's got to be a loser, and Neil, it's you, mate. However, you did get 1 brake horsepower more than you said you were going to, so no cheesy stickers, none of that nonsense.
Excellent.
Are you chuffed? You disappointed?
No, more brake horse than expected. Better car won on the day.
Better car won on the day. You are the loser, but he's a nice loser. We can cope with that, but Waz, you're the winner, mate, in every sense of the word. 323 brake horsepower. Yeah. You get the fantastic Ripspeed alloy pedals. Get them on your motor tonight. You've got top spot on the leaderboard with 323, but most importantly, you get the all-new Trophy of Cheese. Smell that, loser. Not yours, Waz. You get to keep that, mate, until the camera switches off. How does it feel holding that?
It's good, that.
What a fantastic shootout. I can't wait for the next one.
The Reverend Bob talk show. The only show that gives you Italian style, French wit, German bulldoggery, and British grit. And no sign of the Belgians.
Well, punters, on this show, we don't even give you time to get your breath back, as it's time for our brand new Airstrip feature with a brand new presenter. Each week, she's going to be showing us awesome, jaw-dropping cars. She's beautiful, she's clued up. Without further ado, here's Kerry.
Cheers, Reverend, and a big hello to all the congregation out there. My name's Kerry. And over the next 12 weeks, it's my job to bring you the lowdown on some of the sexiest cars on the scene. They say, start as you mean to go on. Well, a 500 horsepower Supra is kicking things off with a bang. There's no doubt about it, this car is a bit of a monster. And we're lucky enough today to have one of the Dr. Frankensteins who helped create it. Now, Alan, cheers for bringing this awesome creation into the airstrip today. Now, you're one of these lucky people, aren't you, whose passion is actually also their profession?
That's right, yep. I help to run a company that specialises in performance tuning Japanese cars.
Cool. Now, back to this car in particular. How many man-hours have been spent on it?
You couldn't really measure it in man-hours. It's taken 3 years to get it where it is today.
3 years, is that working every day?
No, not every day, but sort of constant, pretty much constant development.
And now down to the nitty-gritty. How much money has been spent on modification?
Just over £50,000.
£50,000. And if you want to know where all that money's gone, it's now time to get the lowdown on this superb Supra.
Started off as a totally bog-standard Japanese import automatic Supra, and from there, this particular customer then started looking at the styling kind of mods on the car. Lowered it with some lowering springs. Then we changed the wheels and went over to 19-inch wheels with obviously 35 profile rubber.
So you started off with 18-inch wheels, then you moved to 19, and what are they actually at now?
It's now at 20-inch.
And can we get actually any bigger?
Certain tyre manufacturers are developing bigger rubber, but it's still very expensive and the fitments are really limited. I think as soon as bigger wheels are available, this guy's going to go for it.
OK, now obviously there's not a massive subsystem in the back, but what I can notice is 2 cylinders.
That's right, yeah, that's basically, they're the nitrous bottles. What it's got is, the car's obviously got nitrous fitted. It's a 150 horsepower kit, so in a sense, at the switch of a button, it gives you 150 horsepower.
What was the original horsepower of this car?
Original horsepower was 280 horsepower, which is what all the Japanese Supras make, all the import specification Supras. We then sort of jumped to about 330 horsepower, I think, in the first stage of tune. Then it went up to about 400, then it was 450, and then it arrived at 500 horsepower, which is where it is now.
Is that your final destination, 500 horsepower?
No, not at all. We've got a large single turbocharger to go on it, which should give it, with the right amount of boost pressure, probably about 700 horsepower, something like that.
Talking about yourself now, how do you find this to drive?
This is a really well-sorted car. Because it's a manual, it's got the big brakes on the front, the big AP Racing 6-pot calipers, it's got proper coilover suspension. It makes it very usable, very chuckable. I'd love to use it on a circuit, but...
Yeah. Have you ever?
No, but it is...
It corners very well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very sure-footed, it is very good from that point of view.
My God, it picks up speed. Do you think that's enough for him?
Very much so, yeah.
Well, what an awesome start to the Airstrip feature, folks. And remember, if you want the full spec on this Supra here, send us an email to the Men and Motors website and we'll sort it out, no problem. So, until next week, safe driving.
I don't believe it. I've been fiddling with this all day long and it's still rock hard. Even when I get both my hands round it, I still can't bring it to the finish. And even the missus says it's too hard for her, and that's unusual. Oh, hello there, viewers. Just having a go at the old Q puzzle from the 80s, as you do. Well, that's it, the talk show. We're off and running. Come on! And I hope you've enjoyed it. Well, you might remember from last series, what we like to do at the end of the show is just take the pace down a little, reflect on the programme gone by, as I give you a reading from the world-famous good book. So put your tinnies down and listen up. The talk show's back. We're up and running. It's Reverend Bob, the second coming. This is the show to watch for winners, but we ain't got time for NAFCAR sinners. So get out of the cleaner, polish and spit, and make sure your car's not a big pile of rubbish. That's right, folks. Keep your cars looking mint, because you never know when myself and the rest of the Bob squad might come calling. We'll be back next week with more modified car madness, but until then, just you lot remember that the big man upstairs, he loves every one of you. Later.
Satellite telly. You can't beat it.